Okay, just hold on a second. We'll get going. Now for our next speaker. Our next speaker will be Jim Myl. Now Jim, of all things, was a B-17 pilot. But we welcome him. We enjoy kidding, joking back and forth about the B-17, B-24. But of course we all know the B-24 was a better airplane. And Jim is outnumbered. But a little bio on Jim, his background. Way back when, he was a lifeguard in Long Beach. And he heard the bugle blow and so on after Pearl Harbor. And he joined the Air Force Cadet Training Program. I think it was 18 months later he became a pilot in a B-17. Went over to England, 351st Bomb Group. I think it was Polbrook, wasn't it, Jim? You were stationed? And Jim, I believe, has got some adventures, or what have you, whatever you want to call them, some adventures in the North Sea and something about a parachute. Right, Jim? But you come up and tell us all about it.
Thank you, thank you. Our oldest daughter, Francie, her husband Jim, their two sons, Jeff and Robbie, are here today. There's also a younger daughter, Laura, who's from the Santa Cruz area. She's not here today. But recently she paid us a visit in Los Alamitos. While she was here, she saw the old Foot Locker and said, "Dad, I know you have a lot of World War II memorabilia in there. Why don't we look at it?" So we went through it all, and she discovered 2 panels of an old parachute. And she said, "Dad, this would really make a marvelous scarf or scarves." And I said, "It sure would." We had some scarves made. And then I wrote some words to put on the scarf. And I'd like to read those to you because they kind of tell a story. On August the 9th, 1944, James A. Myl was pilot of a B-17 Flying Fortress on the return to England from his 29th mission to bomb Germany. His flak-riddled plane was alone over the North Sea, some 80 miles from the nearest land, when an internal wing fire erupted. Either it was stay with the plane and die now, or bail out and die later. Myl ordered bailout. After he and his crew splashed down in frigid water and inflated Mae West life jackets, Myl used his pocket knife to salvage 2 panels of the parachute. A lone B-51 Mustang came from out of the blue to fly tight circles overhead so that its position could be fixed in England by triangulation. Over 3 hours passed before a high-speed launch of Royal Air Force's Air Sea Rescue Services arrived to take survivors aboard. This scarf, made in 2002, is part of the parachute Myl salvaged on August the 9th, 1944. Credit Laura, youngest of the 6 children of Dolores and James, with a winning idea. Make the scarves 8 inches wide for August and 44 inches long for 1944. Now here's a preview look at the scarves that will be given to our children on Christmas as gifts. Now these same men from the Royal Air Force's Air Sea Rescue Services, bless them, tracked me down in 1994 and invited me to a reunion, their reunion, at Lyme Regis, which is on the south coast of England, a major base that they had. On the last night we were there, Jim Bird Smith called me forward and said, "Jim, we've decided to make you an honorary member of the Royal Air Force's Air Sea Rescue Services." And I said, "Gee, why me?" And he looked at me and he said, "We've never known anybody crazy enough to bail out of a B-17 so far out to sea without calling anybody. But we'll tell you this, Yank, we say that with great affection." Now I'd like to, incidentally, this is Jim Burt Smith's book, and our mission, that fateful August the 9th, is here on page 28 and following pages.